You are going to build an experiment today based on the knowledge of this experiment, the put a lid on it experiment. Quick recap. You had a vessel that was the same size and shape as another vessel, so 2 cups, 2 bowls. You put the same amount of water in each vessel, the same starting high temperature. As you can see, mine, according to this graph, started at around 125 degrees Fahrenheit. The only difference, and there was only one difference, this vessel has a lid. So how did that one variable affect the temperature of the water? Well, if you look at my graph, you can see the temperature of water decreased over time, but much slower for this one than the control. Today, you will choose your own variable. So the vessel with the lid that you used now becomes the control. So this is the control. And you will design the experimental vessel B. The key to a successful experimental design is to pick only one variable that's different from the control. And that one variable, that one change, causes the water in vessel B to maintain a higher temperature than the control. Now again, it's an experiment. So it might turn out at the end of the experiment that you were wrong about the one variable, but that's okay. So what do I mean about one variable? Well, if you recall, yesterday, the only difference between the control and the experimental was the fact that there was a lid. So today, your control is the vessel that you used yesterday with the lid. All right, well, pick one thing. We've given you a list. Perhaps it is what the lid is made out of. So here is a piece of glass that fits pretty nicely. So now there's only one difference. Foil lid, glass lid, the type of material, one difference. I think the glass will maintain the temperature of the water better than the foil. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'll collect data and see. Don't have a glass ring that beautiful. Maybe you have wax paper. Maybe you have saran wrap. Maybe you just have a paper towel or a paper plate. So that would be testing one variable, what the lid is made out of. Maybe you don't have any of that, but you have plenty of foil, right? So you could keep everything the same except for what the vessel's made out of. So again, have to be the same type of lids, the same amount of water, the same starting temperature. The one variable that's different, this is a paper vessel and this is a glass, okay? So that's an example of one variable. We gave you a list of several, and you can be as creative as possible in terms of how do you want your experimental vessel to maintain heat. Okay, again, if you want to use the same 2 vessels and the same lid, what else could you do to this vessel B that would help it maintain heat better than your control? Okay, so be creative. If you can't be creative, at least focus on changing only one variable. That way we can say with some fidelity, everything was the same between these two except for that one thing. And now look at your data and see if that one thing actually impacted the temperature. So to recap, in the experiment shown here, the vessel A is my control, which is the vessel with the lid from yesterday, and my experimental is the same vessel, but the lid is now made out of glass. I will compare the results of my control and experimental to see if the glass lid maintained a higher temperature of water.